It is summertime. We have warm weather, and Idahoans and Oregonians are hitting the lakes, rivers, and reservoirs, whether it's for recreation or for people's livelihoods. Water is at the heart of life all around here. And now Idaho's largest river has a report card. The first ever State of the Snake report pulls together years of data to answer a question. How healthy is the Snake River, and what will it take to protect it? Cooper Morgan takes a closer look.
A harbor of boats on the Snake. It looks picture perfect.
But what we've realized over the years is that there's a couple different gaps out there.
And unless you're a scientist traversing the Snake, it can be hard to spot a problem. That's where Josh Johnson comes in.
You know, there isn't another report like this that takes together all the data that we do have about water quality in the Snake and brings it all together.
Johnson has spent a year along with the Idaho Conservation League to bring together the first ever State of the Snake, a report that game plans the protection and improvement of the river.
Southern Idaho is a high desert, essentially, and without the Snake River, life there as we know it would not exist.
The report highlights three big threats: what washes into the river, what grows in it, and what doesn't belong there. Agricultural pollution that seeps into the river, too much fertilizer and waste, nitrogen, phosphorus, washing off fields, dairies, and septic systems, feeding problems downstream.
But it has been getting better as the agricultural sector has done various things to begin cleaning up.
Those extra nutrients, combined with static water near reservoirs and dams, contribute to another: toxic algae blooms.
So these aren't a brand new thing, but what is new is just the extent that we're seeing these outbreaks and the frequency that they're happening.
Of the three, one stands at the top: quagga mussels that threaten the local food chain and water distribution alike.
That can be roughly the size of, your fingernail to an inch long.
Nick Zerflu works on invasive species for the Idaho Department of Ag, and he remembers when they were found in the Mid-Snake in 2023.
Impeding water delivery. And for Idaho, that's a huge thing.
Little mussels with a big impact.
Hundreds or thousands, potentially millions of these mussels. And what they do is they attach to substrate at the base of their shell. And it's the sheer numbers that causes the problems.
Idaho launched an aggressive experiment, dosing about 9 miles of river near Twin Falls with chelated copper, hoping to eliminate the invasive mussels before they could spread.
Yeah, well, first off is we took an action. We weren't going to sit back and kind of watch this story unfold.
The treatment has drawn attention and some concern about what it means for the river's ecosystem.
I think we understand that there is some sacrifice here necessary to give it our best shot to get rid of the quaggas for good. But we can't keep poisoning the river forever, right?
Zerflu says this year's drought gave his team a rare advantage. Lower water and earlier warm-up let them start quagga monitoring weeks ahead of schedule.
Idaho is frankly, we're willing to take action on a species of this magnitude when it comes to water and just how much we rely and love and need water for our livelihood in the state.
While the fight against quagga mussels continues, the State of the Snake report goes much further. It calls for more proactive water quality testing to deal with toxic algae blooms before they happen, and long-term partnerships and layers of funding to better protect the Snake River.
Significant funding, perhaps federal funding, to bolster incentives for farmers to improve practices on their fields that reduce pollution and help them with their operation.
Before problems grow too big to see.
The Snake is the lifeline for everybody, and so we need to protect it.
The report is just a first step. ICL plans public meetings and simple handouts later this year. We'll have the full report linked in our web story at ktvb.com.
Coop, I hate quagga mussels, but how can I, just a regular old news anchor, help end this quagga saga?
Well, if you're an avid boater, I don't know if you are, Justin, but it's just making sure that you don't track those through other bodies of water. That's, letting your boat dry out thoroughly and spraying it down before you leave the area. And, well, unless you're going to the same place again, but just that type of stuff.
Yeah, drain it, dry it every time. Cooper, thank you.